Solar and wind should be powering our cars today. The reality is, electric cars, Tesla, all the other companies that are getting on board with electric, I get where they're going and it's a good step, but it's not actually a zero emissions solution. Why? Well, because you still require a plug to charge these cars. And what does that mean? That means electricity. And that still requires some sort of consumption power, and it's a resource. And that's still not exactly 100% good for the environment. At least that's my understanding, because electricity requires maintenance, especially if it's not powered by solar or wind. Again, I'm not an MIT guy, I'm not a Harvard guy, so this might be way outside my realm of possibility. I'm more of like a business mind in the sense that I look at problems and I look at how to solve them. That's really what I've been known for, is solving issues per se. So an MIT scientist might have much more information on this than I do, but here are my thoughts, just sort of looking at it. I see concept cars that run on solar power. Okay, this is something that's already been developed. It's been out there for decades. So we already have a solar powered car out there. Now I know it probably doesn't do a very good job, or it requires a lot of sunlight to work, but what if we actually invested all of our research and development into new solar panels that are more efficient, or maybe if we invested more research and development into wind power? Because I just found out that wind power actually can be much more efficient than solar. So now I'm sort of thinking, well, wind would be good, but solar too. Why? Well, because we have a big ball of fire that's in the sky and I don't see it going anywhere. I don't see it disappearing anytime soon. So we could use that, right? There always seems to be sunlight at some point or another. Or moon energy. I don't know. Maybe this is wishful thinking or just really out there kind of thinking, but I've already seen solar powered cars, so why can't research be put into wind powered cars? Why can't we have that going? It just seems like these electric cars are a stopgap solution. They're not really all the way. They're not the optimal solution. Now, I'm also seeing flying cars, but again, how do you charge them, right? You need to plug them into some outlet, and that requires energy, and that's costs. So why is it we're not there yet? Well, I'm thinking that maybe the government is slowing down progress because perhaps we have different industries like the oil industry, gas industry, all these companies, coal, they make money off of these emissions. So it's like the government wants to take care of climate change, but then they also want us to be paying for gas. Like, why isn't it more developed in terms of wind and solar? I feel like those are the only real solutions. And I'm not knocking what electric car companies have done thus far. They are clearly in the right direction. But imagine if we had spent the last several decades putting all of our focus into solar and wind, because those are clearly the resources that would require zero emissions, zero. No electricity that we have to create or pay for. It's sunlight converted to electricity or wind converted to electricity. It's all off the grid. No outlets required, no plugs, no charging stations, no infrastructure where we have to start building these outlets, because that takes time and energy, and you have all these companies going out and installing these stations. Is it really the solution? And what about semi trucks that are going to be electric. So they're going to be riding on these long roads, long stretches of road, and you expect them to just stop for 8 hours and charge before the next go around? They need to be going. They can't be sitting around for 8 hours charging their truck. It's not really the most efficient thing. So hopefully, now maybe they already have it, but why is it that a semi-truck should be really simple? The whole thing could be solar panels. It could be a huge solar panel. So it could be getting electricity from the sky. Or it could be some sort of a wind consumption thing. I don't know. I'm just throwing out these ideas because I want to look at the real problems and figure out ways to solve them. So just throwing these ideas around, and maybe if we start looking at real problems in the world and we look at real solutions, not halfway solutions, we might get to where we want to go. Now, I mean, if I had a bunch of money, which I don't yet, if I had a bunch of money sitting around, I would be investing in solar and wind to get those technologies up to speed for vehicles. Might sound crazy, but we've seen crazier, right? The Model T car back in the early 1900s, like Ford was looked at as this crazy company, but obviously it worked out, didn't it? And then the horse and the carriage disappeared. So we're not thinking really too far outside the realm of possibility. We're already looking at Mars as a solution, but honestly, we could solve significant problems in terms of climate and all this kind of stuff if we just focus on wind and solar. Those are the kinds of resources that will never go away. Just seems like a solution that we haven't figured out yet. So I don't know. What do you guys think? I'm going to just leave this completely open. Maybe I'm completely off base, but hey, what do you think? You can leave your comments. Interested in the discussion. Why is it that we have concept cars that are solar, and why is it we don't have anything going on with wind? Like, why aren't we looking at this? Is it the government getting in the way? Is it some other thing? Are the automobile companies saying, hey, no, we don't want to invest in R&D on that kind of stuff because it'll be expensive? What is holding us back? Is it just not possible? Yeah, I'd love to hear what everyone thinks. I mean, this also goes for electric planes. Why can't planes be running on wind, solar, electricity? I don't know. Why do they require gas? And I believe that Elon Musk actually said, well, if he had more time, he would actually create electric airplanes. I think he had actually said that at one point. So that seems like a possibility there. So I'm just wondering, why aren't we there yet? What is holding us back? Yeah. Anyway, thanks for tuning in this time. Toodles, love to hear from you.